Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is now 7:01 p.m. Welcome to tonight's Planning and Zoning Commission meeting of Monday, November 3rd, 2025. Members of the Planning and Zoning Commission and public may participate in the public hearing. All participants will be able to speak when called upon. At this time, I would like to explain the procedures to be followed during the meeting. The Commission has both a consent agenda and an agenda for consideration of individual items. Items listed on the consent agenda are considered to be routine and non-contested. Item number 1, citizen comments, provides the opportunity for members of the public to address the Commission on items that are listed on the consent agenda. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes, and the Secretary will let you know when 1 minute is left. For all plats and plans conditionally approved or disapproved by the Commission, the applicant will be provided a written statement of the conditions for the conditional approval or the reasons for disapproval. These conditions and reasons are not arbitrary. They are directly related to the requirements of Local Government Code Chapter 212 and include citations to the law that is the basis for the conditional approval or disapproval. For individual consideration items, I will call the applicant or his or her representative to present the case. The applicant will have up to 5 minutes to present the case, which includes all persons representing the application. Then those wishing to speak in favor and those wishing to speak in opposition will have up to 5 minutes each to present his or her comments. Prior to speaking, please give your name and city of residence. Remember to speak directly into the microphone, as this hearing is recorded for the public record. Any handouts you wish to provide should be given to staff. Please do not approach the Commission. Applicants are not required to stay for the entire duration of the meeting and may leave once their item has been heard. The next meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission will be Monday, December 1st, 2025. The next item on our agenda is citizen comments on items listed on the consent agenda. April, has anyone signed up to speak on any item on the consent agenda?
No one signed up. Please proceed.
All right. Secretary Merrick, would you please read the consent agenda into the record?
Yes, I have 5 items. The first is the approval of the Planning and Zoning Commission minutes of Monday, October 6, 2025. The next item is 2025192 PL Temple Rose Addition Revised Replat, located at 2006 Rose Street. The next one is 2025341 PL Mutaza at Shady Grove Addition, preliminary/final plat, located at 1215 West Shady Grove Road. Next one is 2025376 PL Roll Tech Center Phase 3 Fifth Replat, located at 8001 Ridgeport Drive and 8000 Bent Branch Road. The final one is 2025377 PL Moore Addition, final plat, located at 1400, 1406, and 1412 Eaton Road.
All right. Do we have a motion for approval of the items on this portion of the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion for approval.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Please vote. And the motion passes unanimously. All right. And Secretary Merrick, would you please read the item on the consent agenda for disapproval?
For disapproval, I have 2025231 PL Story Village Addition Revised Replat, located at 2305 West Airport Freeway.
All right. And do I have a motion for disapproval of this item for the reasons set forth in the staff memo?
I'll make a motion for disapproval.
I'll
Okay.
second.
All right. We have the motion and the second for disapproval. Please vote. And the motion passed unanimously. So we'll move on to the individual items. One of our individual items, the applicant has requested that we postpone, so we're going to address that one first. They asked that we postpone because they have some further discussions with the city staff. This is item number 16 on our list, which is zoning case 2025-2 or -365-ZC, located at 3801 Pleasant Run Road. It's been asked for postponement, but since it's already been, notice has gone out, we'll need to do the public hearing anyway. Is the applicant present, and if so, do they want to say anything more than that they're asking for a postponement?
We are present and very grateful for the opportunity, but no, we're just asking for postponement.
Okay, thank you. Is there anybody else who'd like to speak in favor of this item? Anybody in opposition? No? Then I will return it to the commission for a motion.
I'll make a motion, if there's no other comments, to postpone zoning case 2025-365-ZC until January the 5th, 2026 hearing.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second postponing this item. Please vote. And the motion passed unanimously. All right, then back to the normal order of our items. Item number 8, zoning case 2024-394-ZC, located at 309 South O'Connor Road. Is the applicant present?
Yes. Christina Winters, 3716 Santiago Court, Irving, Texas. I've been a resident for 38 years and have had a lot of interaction with a lot of our community experiences. And when I saw this house, I just sold my business of 35 years, and I've always loved the idea of downtown Irving. Feet on the street in the urban center, yes, but downtown Irving is such an opportunity for like at the APA conference, the 12 Steps for a Great City, a thriving downtown, and kind of envision, we got a train coming in, right? And I don't know about those cars, but the little ones that go by themselves, but we really don't want people driving around in the district. We want people walking, okay? We want people coming in on the train, coming in groups, and walking around in our city. I bought this property for 2 reasons. First of all, I needed a space for my new business, the Revolution of Achievement. It's a consulting firm, and I am going to be there with my assistant, Carrie. She's my strategic operations manager, and we're very excited about the future. And I plan on redeveloping, well, let's take that word out. I plan on enhancing the original property that was actually approved and put on the national and state historical, by the national, state, and historical commissions. And the property has to stay the way it is. And we are working with the commission and also the architect firm that actually helped in getting it registered. So my goal, and Carrie has the plot, I don't know if you guys can, if she puts it in the front here so everyone can see it, maybe in front of this wooden thing, Carrie. So this is the property. So right now, it's really overgrown and not very pretty. And it's a beautiful house. It is a California airplane bungalow. And that are properties that were built between 1900 and 1930. So the if you look at it from the top, the one on the screen is actually in the wrong position. It should be turned long ways because that little brown squiggle, that's the walkway up to the property, okay? So I plan on repainting the outside, and there's a lot of disrepair. No one has lived physically in the house for about 6 years. And the outside, the yard has gone into disarray, and I plan on clearing out all of the back side of the property. That's all the part up here on the top, and ripping out all the grass, putting in
1 minute remaining.
I'm sorry?
You have 1 minute left, is what she was letting you know.
I have
Your
one
time-
more
you-
minute?
you
I
have-
thought I had 5 minutes.
Yeah, but you've already used up 4 of them.
Okay, so I'm going to spend about $300,000 on the property, just on the grass and all the plants and flowers. And I want this to be a beacon for the future of downtown historic district, a vision that will allow people to see what's possible. I have the love of my town and the finances to be able to create this. And I request that you grant me these variances. It's just going to be me and my assistant, and we're going to be in 2 rooms. The rest of the house is going to look like a residence. Okay, it's going to have a living room, a dining room, and a kitchen.
Your time is up.
All right, I am here to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you. Commissioner Reyes, do you have a question?
I do. So, Ms. Christina, thank you for your presentation. I just am curious, what is your consulting and what is your business, if you don't mind sharing?
Surely. So, I've actually been in the business for 45 years, and I have been able to create an amazing experience for clients through purpose-driven success. And my goal, I'm writing a book. I am going to be speaking and consulting to other businesses, not just financial planning, but other businesses, because purpose-driven success, and what that is that you put the client completely in front of what you're doing, and you forget about everything else. So my firm, the average retention was 14 years for clients. And if you look on the internet, the average retention for a financial planner and a client is 5 years. And how I was able to expand it almost 3 times that way was through the concept of purpose-driven success. So that's what my books are going to be about, and my consulting, and I'm also going to be speaking. So there's not going to be anybody coming into the property at all except for me and Carrie.
So as far as your lovely, blueprint right here, would you mind just sharing how this would make downtown Irving more beneficial? I know you had mentioned the economic development of
Well,
it.
for example, the reason I'm asking for the variance of the driveway, there's a pale pink quartz that was originally on the property, which is all it's dissipated completely. So it has to be, I want it to be redone that way. I want the property to look exactly like it was when it was brand new. And Mr. Gilbert actually lived there, where there's flowers. I'm planting 9 purple trees all along this second part of the property. There's a fence, a 7-foot fence, and then also red yuccas, 16 of them, along with 7 white yuccas, 30 yashao bushes, and regular bushes 10. We're putting in electrical outlets and lighting so that the property can be lit up at night. And we're painting it. There's going to be a chandelier, which was originally on the property when Mr. Gilbert owned it in his day, on the porch outside. And it's going to be a beacon of what the vision, I know, and I've heard a few of you talk about that today, the vision of what the future's going to look like. In financial planning, you got to think out 20, 25 years. And that's what I'm seeing. And I have the vision, the energy, and the finances to
Did the
create
microphone
it.
get turned off?
I'm sorry?
Did the microphone get turned off?
I don't think so.
Now it's on. Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that. How did it get turned off?
I don't know, maybe you bumped it?
Oh, I don't know. So it didn't get recorded?
Well, I mean, we could hear it here, but I could tell it wasn't as loud, so
Oh.
so it was just a little short bit there right at the end.
And usually I'm told I talk too loud. Okay, good. So everyone can hear me now. So there has to be, and I know you guys have a vision because I see some things happening. We have those beautiful murals, and we need something that's going to be like out of concept right now. This is going to be a property that is going to be very different than all the other properties. Our own city heritage house is beautiful, right next door to me. Beautiful lawn and a picket fence. That's what I'm going to do with this acre of land that this house sits on. And I know it's going to attract other developers. And having you I almost said you guys because I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, but having you as a commission approving these variances will show other developers that we are willing to look to the future and do the things that are necessary to attract people with money. And marketing to North Irving and East Dallas, having those people come into the city. And again, not necessarily with cars. We want feet on the street. We don't want people driving around. We want people walking and developing all these properties so that they have places to go and things to do and take pictures of themselves. I've visited Spring, Texas. Their downtown area is just like ours, but it's totally developed. The houses are turned into businesses, and there's all kinds of activities going on. Bishop Arts on 8th Street.
I think you've moved beyond answering the question the commissioner
Sorry.
had. Any other questions that the commissioners have for the applicant?
I got a question.
Thank you.
So basically what you're wanting to do is you're wanting to bring this house back to the 1930s style house.
Yes,
So by keeping the original rock driveway, by keeping all that stuff, that's what your vision is.
yes, yes.
And so you're asking us, commission, to look at that and take that into consideration as far as what you're wanting to do. The main objective is bringing it back to its original condition.
Correct. Thank you for capsulizing that, Mr. Lightfoot.
Okay.
Any other questions? No? Thank you very much. Oh,
Are
sorry.
you intending to reside in the property?
I'm sorry?
Are you intending to reside?
No, I live in North Irving, and I will stay there. This is just for my business.
Just pure office?
Yes.
Use?
Yes, we're only going to use 2 rooms. There's a study and a bedroom on the south side of the house, and then in the front is a living room and a dining room and a kitchen area, and then a kitchen and an enclosed porch. So I'm just going to furnish that in 1930s, 40s furniture. So it,
Perfect. Let me ask you one more question. You said you sold your business, but you're saying that you're in business for 40-something years and you're going to be using a consulting business. So are you still in business or you sold your business?
I'm sorry?
Are you still in business or did you sell your business?
Oh, no, I sold the financial planning business. Now I have a consulting business called The Revolution of Achievement. And its focus is to be focused on purpose-driven success and teaching people through speaking and writing books and also consulting with firms.
Great.
So I will not be having people come to the house.
Thank you.
Any other questions? No? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your time and your consideration and your vision for our heritage
I
district.
got a question actually for the heritage.
Okay, that'll be part of the public hearing. All right, you're fine. You can, no, not for you.
Oh, thank you.
Sure, that'd be great. Is there anybody else who'd like to speak in favor of this item?
I do, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sharon Barbosa Crane, 2608 Allendale, and to Chairman Skinner and the commissioners, to Mr. Bloom and staff. Pleased to be here this evening and express my support for this project that's before you, and also to answer a couple of questions that you had in your work session, the first one being, has anyone talked to the Irving Heritage Society? Well, I need you to know that the Irving Heritage Society has not had a board meeting in order to consider this since it was placed on the agenda and folks learned about it. But we have been able to have a number of informal conversations among the board members, and we have not uncovered any opposition whatsoever, but we did have a number of questions. And fortunately, Ms. Winters has answered those questions for us. The first consideration of the Irving Heritage Society is, as of course, seeing as how the center of our Heritage Society is the Heritage House. That's very important to the society, though we now are evolved to all over the city because that's where our history lies, and that's everywhere. But we are very committed to that area, and we're right next door to this house, which was formerly the home of Dr. Clay Gilbert. And indeed, as Ms. Winters said, it has not been occupied since he passed away and had fallen into some neglect. And the trees and the other landscaping was wilting badly. And to have it replaced into what was there and then even enhanced in many areas is really something that we are in favor of. And most of us, if they were all down here, they would stand up and say, yes, if you can protect the historical character of this, then we want to see this used for a positive benefit. On the other hand, the South Irving Task Force did take this up to review at our meeting and did develop a position on it, and we are very interested in what happens downtown and in the Heritage District at large, and we believe this is a step in the right direction. You talked about this parking and things, and I think you probably have the answers you need, but let me just say this, that the only reason that Ms. Winters is down here today is because she's not going to be at this time living in this house. Because if she was living in this house and had this business installed there, that would be permissible without ever coming to you all. And there would be no question as to what you have there or where you put it or what kind of gravel you have, et cetera. So that's the first thing for you to remember. Also, that the reason that there's 2 parking spaces required is because the city requires 2 parking spaces for this use, whether you need them or not. And she's clearly demonstrated to you that she actually doesn't need them. But there's plenty of room in the back. We're very familiar with it, being familiar with Dr. Gilbert, who was a charter member of the Irving Heritage Society, by the way, because the backyards of the 2 houses are similar in that there's a lot of room back there. There's a garage. There's plenty of room back there for 2 assistants to be there with Ms. Winters, and there's room there then in addition to that for 2 parking spaces that I might want to come by and visit and have coffee, you know, but probably not as a client, but just as a friend, as you would do in all of these homes. This is, if you look around the neighborhood, it's not dissimilar to what you'll see in the rest of the neighborhood. And it also is inviting in the fact that it does have the beauty of the area that suggests you'd like to walk in it and move around in it. And we badly need all of our available buildings and structures to be used in this Heritage District area and in the downtown area. And this is a chance to do that. So not only do you have plenty of room for what you would ordinarily need, you also have the protection of the inspections department. If there was a change in the use on this, and it was commercial in nature, not because somebody moved in to make it a residence, they would have to go to building inspections. They would have to get a certificate of occupancy, and that use would determine what they would be allowed to do. And if there wasn't the ability to put that on the lot, it wouldn't happen. I help people all the time who have problems with things like this. And I help people all the time who can't go into a little commercial strip center because the manager of that has already allowed the existing tenants to use up all the parking space, and people literally can't move their business in there. It would be no difference with a small area like this being used as a part of it being used as a business. So the protection that you would seek and look for is there. And so you can be confident in that. And you can be confident in knowing that the people who have an interest in this area and who keep up with this area are supportive of it and would appreciate your recommendation of approval for this project.
Thank you. Commissioner Lightfoot, did that answer your question? Great. Question answered. All right. Anybody else who'd like to speak in favor of this item? Anybody in opposition? No? Then I will return it to, unless, ma'am, did you have any, it was somebody in support of you, so I'm not guessing you had anything further to say in response to Ms. Barbossa's comments?
No, I'm 100% in agreement.
Okay. All right. Well, then I'll return it to the commission for discussion. Commissioner Lightfoot?
Yeah, I'd like to make a couple of comments. I think this is a unique opportunity to develop downtown area. I think that it's a unique property, and I think it has unique stuff to it as far as the historical district and keeping stuff. Normal gravel driveways, stuff like that, we would have an issue with because it does not necessarily meet current compliance. But I think if we put concrete in there and do that, it's going to definitely change up the view of the home. And I do appreciate Ms. Winters willing to spend $300,000+ to develop this house back to its original condition. I think I can support it due to its uniqueness. One question for staff, though. If it changes from a different business, then at that point, being historical, et cetera, they're going to have a different challenge to put in a different style business in there.
So the use that is regulated by CO will have to follow the regulations of the building code for health and safety, which will include any type of accessibility or just other basic requirements of the building code. There's an existing building code, and Wade can respond to this as well if needed. So there are accommodations for historic properties, but there are some minimum standards that would have to be met if there is a use that is more intense than what she's intending to do.
Okay. So we do have that protection on this, and I think so. I can support it, even though it's against typically what we do, but due to the nature, the age, and keeping it like it is now, I could support this.
Commissioner Denny?
Well, I think the presentation we heard was commendable. I think it's impressive, and I think there was a lot of energy to commit to the Heritage District and to embrace the history of Irving. I think we have here, what presented is a fairly narrow question, I think, in terms of whether or not we deviate from the standard of developments in parking, and going from 6 spaces to 2 spaces, I think is quite dramatic. And I think there would need to be a compelling reason to do that. And I think that area shows there can be historic properties, but modifications for particular uses, in this case, a commercial use. It's going from a residential use to a commercial use. And with that comes certain parking requirements and driveway requirements. So I'm not seeing a particular prejudice or hardship to maintaining these standards. And so just on those narrow grounds, I would not be able to support this.
Vice Chair Hack?
I grew up in a small town, settled in 1606, so I'm particularly sensitive to historical renovations. Ms. Winters has been an integral part of the success of Irving through financial gifts and support, and through her own business of 38 years, and now apparently a new consulting business. Congratulations. So I fully support this case without any trouble whatsoever.
Commissioner Pritchard?
I'll ask Ms. Barbosa from Quest as the agent. I have a question for you. Is the intention also that's going to be open for tours or whatnot for people to come in?
That's not the request that's been made.
I'm just asking the question.
No, I don't think so. That's not my understanding. It's my understanding it's going to be used exactly as Ms. Winters said. And if she wants to show me something, she can. But that's just normal activity.
Well, because I'm going along with Commissioner Daniels, that I'm concerned about the parking, and you won't. The dream is to have people walk.
You can go ahead and sit down.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to get her started. I'm concerned about the parking, and if people drive up, again, will we be in compliance with ADA? Will we have handicap parking spaces available? Will we have access to the building with a ramp and whatnot. I'm concerned about that.
Commissioner
like to
Reyes?
make-
I think Commissioner Reyes is next.
Thank you. I have to agree with Commissioner Hack and Commissioner Lightfoot. Think it's a fantastic idea, especially for the development and the growth of downtown city of Irving. And as far as it being walkable, and as Ms. Jocelyn mentioned earlier in our work session, sounds to me it's just, the space will just be used for herself and her colleague and as an office space. And in the event it does need to grow, there is that lot size, to expand for parking spaces. So I don't see it as being a need for a restraint on the parking spaces.
Commissioner Ahmed?
Yeah, I'd like to make a.
Commissioner Lightfoot? I'm trying to go in order.
Sorry. Yeah, so I'm a big advocate of small businesses, especially startups, so congratulations for starting that up. Sounds very intriguing, kind of bringing that into the Heritage District and downtown area. I don't particularly find a hardship why the parking requirement cannot happen. I'm not seeing that, even though I'm an advocate of this happening. There's no compelling argument here why this can't happen if they wanted this to happen, especially when the investment is being made. And we are asking other businesses in that area and elsewhere to meet those requirements as well. Given that there's no hardship presented here, I won't be able to support this case.
Commissioner Lightfoot?
Okay, thank you. I'd like to remind the commission, if she was to choose to move into this house, then there would be no parking requirement. She could go ahead and open a business. The zoning is there. So there would be no discussion on driveways, there would be no discussion on gravel, there'd be no discussion on anything. So I think that is, with us as a commission, my opinion, us as a commission, we should encourage more development, not discourage it in these areas. And we're having a difficult time in these areas even getting a lot of development. And we have someone in front of us now that's willing to bring something back to Irving's heritage. I do agree that it is difficult. I do agree with the other commissioners as far as driveways and stuff. But from the standpoint, it's a unique piece of property. She's wanting to bring it back to its original condition and keep it at its original condition. And by doing so, there's just so many changes that can be made, but the commission needs to be reminded that she can open this up by saying she's moving in it for 6 months out of the year. We're done. It wouldn't even be brought in front of us. So I don't think we should deny her wanting to open the business. I think that we have the proper things in place with building inspections, and we have the proper things in place with the city to make sure that it's not going to turn into a 20, 25 person professional office.
Right.
And she does have room to grow if it does that, but I think we should support this as a commission. We ought to encourage development, not discourage it.
I tend to think that the concerns that, the narrow issue before us is whether there's a hardship, and it's not clear to me that there is a hardship in this case, especially in light of the empty space to the south of the property, which looks like it would be available for use for the additional parking. But I can understand moving a business in and wanting, so I gather there is interest in expansion, not wanting to do that at this time. But one of the issues that came up in the work session was the possibility that it may be required to have an ADA spot. That would take, it's asking for 2 spots, and that would take half the parking then. That seems to be a problem. If it was less of a reduction in the amount of required parking, it seems like that would be one way of solving some of that concern. Looked to me like you probably could put 3 parking spots in without making any significant modifications. I don't have a problem with the gravel component of it. That seemed like a possible middle way if there was any interest in that.
There was
Commissioner Lyson?
There was a comment made, Jocelyn, during the work session, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I don't know if this is for Wayne or not, but it's, the comment was made that there was discussions with building inspections, and the building inspections and everybody else is okay with giving somewhat of a variance or an understanding to the uniqueness of this property. Am I correct?
Yeah, in discussions, the building official did give some indication that he would, as long as it was retained at such a low intensity with a small number of employees, that he would work with them in terms of the staging of what was necessary to meet the codes.
Mm-hmm.
And then if that was expanded, then the additional codes would apply.
So building inspections himself is okay with working with the uniqueness of this property?
Yeah, the building official, yes.
Building official. Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Denning?
Just wanted to follow up on a few comments. The staff finding for this case is no unnecessary hardship. And I think if one were to follow that staff finding, it's not a vote to discourage development. The city has actually provided guidelines to encourage development, clear guidelines. I don't think these guidelines are unnecessarily burdensome or, obviously create some undue hardship. So I'd love to see this property enhance the Heritage District. I think the requirements that are set before us are reasonable. So, thank you.
I'll make one more comment.
Commissioner Lightfoot?
Mr. Denny. I understand the staff said there was no findings of no hardship found. Based upon the building official willing to work with them and to try to figure out a way to make this work, that's an indication to me that there is some sort of a hardship to keep this thing property unique and to keep it in its current condition. And that's just my opinion on it.
Any further discussion, or do we have a motion? Commissioner Ahmed?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion. I'd like to make a motion for zoning case 224-394-ZC to be recommended to the council for denial.
Second.
We have a motion and a second recommending denial. Please vote.
Failed.
And
Oh, I didn't, can you reset that? I didn't mean to abstain. My apologies.
Right, just put on the record as approved.
So you have to yeah.
what do you want? Well, I didn't make a motion in the first place. But we can take, that motion failed because it didn't pass. So we can take a new motion.
I'll make a motion for zoning case 394-ZC to City Council for approval.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second recommending approval. All right, please vote. Oh, I messed up this time. Okay, well, I meant to vote no, but it didn't matter. So it passes 6-3, even though it should have passed 5-4 because I messed up and wasn't paying attention enough. 5-4. All right. It goes with a recommendation of approval, though, either way. So. All right. Well, then let's move on to item number 9, zoning case 2025-129-ZC. Located at 906 King Avenue. Is the applicant present? Sir.
Hi, good evening, everyone. How are you guys doing? My name is Murtaza Mahuwala. I am a Irving resident. I'm here to represent the zoning case 2025-129-ZC. So I was here last time in front of you guys, and there were 3 items that I was told to address, and the 3 items were I had a T-shaped design. Also, there was a concerns about the property value if I did the T shape because of the square footage. And then the third item was the width of the lots. So I was able to take that and looked into what I could do. And in front of you, this is I was able to extend the lots. I was able to eliminate the T design. I was able to get the square footage or the property value addressed as well. I had a problem with the 2 feet width expansion that was recommended. The reason I ran into an issue with that is right now the building that's there, if I was to, or I think that's track 1, if I was to extend that 2 feet, because that building that's there currently, the plan was to turn that into a single car garage. If I was to do that, as the standard single car garage width is 10 feet. If I increase that to 57 as it was recommended, I will not be able to create the single car garage. I would have to demolish that entire structure that's there. And basically I wouldn't have a garage, I would just have that one property. Due to that issue, I was forced to keep the width as 55. And hopefully, I hope the council would, I was able to address the 2 of the concerns that were there. It's just the third one I wasn't able to do because of that reasoning.
Was that all your presentation?
Yes.
Okay, you're open for questions?
Yes.
All right. You mentioned tract 1, tract 2. Why didn't you move that one over, expand it?
So I could actually move track 2, but then I just wanted to keep those 2 equal, 55, 55. But there is no issues with making track 2 57, but then I would have 3 different lot sizes, so I was just like, well, I'd rather just keep 2 equal ones, because it would, if you approve the first one, why not the other one? That was my reasoning, but if I don't have an issue making track 2 57 if it really needs to be, but I don't see a reason if you're going to approve one of them.
Okay, great, thank you. All right, the commissioners have any questions for the applicant? Anybody else? Commissioner Ahmed?
Yeah, just for clarification, so I hear your point about in track 3 of that little structure. Are those 2 separate structures? From the picture, seems like you have a garage and then you have a shed, like a carport, I mean.
No, so it's 2 structures that's connected by like a shaded area, like a walkway path, if you will. So that's what that is. It's not a garage. So the structure that's there, that would be turned into a garage. Today it's like a detached structure that's used as like a storage.
And then if I remember correctly, Mr. Mahuala, you said that in the future you're thinking about moving that house back, and that was the reason for the T.
Yes, in the future my plan was probably like 5-10 years from now.
Okay.
Take that entire, demolish everything that's there and then move the house back a little bit. That was my original plan, but now if I'm just going to do this, then I don't know when if I'm going to ever move the house back, because, I changed
That's
the
not in
design.
consideration right now.
Correct, yes.
So, is that a carport right now, that little structure?
No, so that structure used to be, I believe, a carport,
Okay.
but it was the residents that lived there turned it into I guess, 2 bedrooms, but it wasn't really used as bedrooms. It was used as more of a storage. So what I'm proposing is it's a little bit bigger, right? So because of that 5 feet rule is basically the issue right now. Because of the 5 feet rule, if I do 55, I can reduce that by 4 feet of that structure. That'll give me exactly 10 feet left, where I can turn that into a single car garage that it used to be before, and basically turn that into a house with 1 single car garage.
Okay, and you're
Without having
open
to change too much there.
And you're open to making track 2 57.
Yeah, like if I have to, then I'm definitely open to it, but yeah.
Is that something that's keeping you from making that 59?
Which
That's
one?
4 feet, track 2? Then
Yeah.
the only variance would be track 1?
So so if I feel if I make that 59, I'm going to have that issue with that 5 feet,
Or the set?
because that would actually make me get rid of the house or
Got it.
modify the house. That's going to be a big issue. So yeah, that would not work.
Thank you.
Commissioner Reyes?
Did you mention what that lower level piece was on
Down to the south end?
Yes, nearest to track 2?
No, there's nothing there. It's just a grass area.
Oh, okay, that's,
There's nothing. I think they have like a little fence just made there because they had some dogs and things in that property before. But yeah, there's like no structure or anything there.
okay, thank you.
There is a structure on the track one side in the back which has been covered up, but there's like a shed on track 1, but that's part of the track.
It's
1.
on part of track 1?
Yes.
I know you mentioned for track 2, moving it, if you need to, for that 57. I would argue that that would be beneficial on your end. Just stating that would be, track 2 would be a larger, and I know you mentioned, this is just an opinion, but I know you mentioned wanting to sell it, but it would make it more ideal in terms of property value and size, making it a little bit larger piece of land, but just a comment to you, that's all. Thank you.
Question I got for you is, what is the distance from the house to the property line on track 3 to track 2? How many feet from the house to the property line from track 3 to track 2?
Track 3 to track 2, I don't know exactly how much that is. I would have to go look. I believe it's like 7
Just an
feet.
approximate.
I don't have it in front of me, so I can't tell you. I would say probably like 7 feet or 8 feet, I would say.
How much?
I think it's like 7 feet or something like that. I would have to go get you the exact measurement. I do not remember.
Okay.
About, you're saying 17 feet?
No. No, 7.
From
7
the
or 8
house
feet.
to the prop?
The track 3, right? So track 3 and track 2 is what you're talking about.
I mean, maybe it's not to scale. Just comparing it to your one-frame structure that you're going to turn into a garage, it looks like it would have to be at least 14 feet.
Yeah, I didn't really draw it to scale.
Okay.
It's not drawn to scale. But again, I can find that
I think
exact out for
moving
you.
track 2 to 59,
Okay.
based upon your scale that you have, and I don't know if it's the scale or not, I agree with Commissioner Skinner on this one, that would still give you a 10-foot setback off the house. That would put that one lot in compliance, and now we've all agreed, if I'm not mistaken, that track 1 would be very difficult because you'd have to move the driveway because of the radius. So track 1, we could see getting a variance on it, but track 2, I would be in support of moving it to 59 feet to make it in compliance, and then you're just asking for a variance off track 1, which is understandable due to the driveway and the curve and everything else. And I appreciate you going back and working with staff and increasing the lot sizes and getting as close as you can. But are you willing to do something to that effect and just get a variance on track 1 and make track 2 in compliance? Because you're 300 square feet off of making it in compliance. I don't know what that would be, but to make it with the neighborhood compatible with the neighborhood, we're looking at 59 feet. So you could actually move track 2 over 4 feet, and you would take that lot completely out of consideration. Track 3 would be in compliance, and then you'd just be asking a variance on track 1.
So I really don't want to make the track 3 that small. So because I wasn't planning on selling that, which I had mentioned last time. Would you guys be willing if I made the track 257, because that would take care of the square footage, I guess?
It's a compromise.
Would
I can
that
support
work?
that. I can support that.
Okay. Yeah, if that's
And
the
I understand the hardship you got on track 1 as far as moving it over with the driveway and the curve based upon what building inspections have said. But track 2, I still feel that it needs to be bumped over a little bit, but I could support 57.
Okay. Yeah, if that's the case, then I'm completely willing to do that. I can make that 57 if I can keep track 1 the way it is and then take the 2 feet from track 3.
All right. So the compromise is doing the 57? Okay. On track 2, track 1 at 55.
Yeah.
Yep, and then.
Because of the hardship of the driveway.
And then the variance on the lot area as that is dictated by those numbers.
Him moving it over.
I guess, no, on track 2, it wouldn't then need a variance.
Yeah, it wouldn't need a
Track
variance
1
on
would
track 2, because if he moved it over 2 feet, he's gaining 392
Yeah.
square feet, which gives him the 307 variance that he
Yeah.
needs.
So track 2 would only have a variance to allow it to be 57 feet rather than the 59, and track 1 would have the 2 variances to be 55 feet, and then the reduction of 2.8%, the 307 square feet. Okay.
Correct.
Any other questions for the applicant? No? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else who'd like to speak in favor of this item? Anybody in opposition? No? Then I'll return it to the commission for any discussion and a motion.
Just this as a comment, I'm okay keeping it as it is right now. I mean, I don't really see the need of having him change it, as we already asked him to modify it and come back to us, and now we're asking him again to modify it. We should have done that the first time, if that was the intent. So, I mean, I don't really see what difference will really make 2 feet in this scenario. I mean, whenever we're really granting the one on the left side as well. I mean, I don't really see if it's really needed for this case in particular.
Commissioner Denny?
Just a couple of comments. I just appreciate the applicant being flexible and open to modifications. I think the principal concern when this was first before us was maintaining the character and integrity of the neighborhood, which is what the requirement is really driven at. I mean, these are, even though the large lot is being split into 3, they're still pretty decent sizes and very close to meeting the regulations. So for those reasons, I can support it.
Any further discussion? Commissioner Reyes?
Yes, I support it with the conditions of the 57. I agree with the Commissioner Sanguino, but I just feel that with just one lot being tight as it is would make it more conforming versus the 2, and then it just being so that's the reason for the 57 versus 59. It won't be as tight in the neighborhood.
Any further comments, or do we have a motion? Commissioner Lightfoot?
If there's no other comments, I'd like to talk. Okay. I'd like to move zoning case 2025-129-ZC to City Council for approval with track
Lot
2? Yeah. Is it track 2?
2.
Yeah, track 2 moving to 57 feet and leaving the track 1 at 55 feet.
And
I'll second.
And that has the lot area variance only for track 1.
Yes, we would just be asking for a lot variance of track 1 and a width of track 1.
I'll second.
And a 2-foot variance on track 2.
All right. We have a motion and a second recommending approval with the conditions specified. Please vote. And the motion passes unanimously. All right. Now you move on to City Council on this. Okay, on to item number 10, zoning case 2025-140-ZC, located at 1301 Ronnie Drive. Is the applicant present? Yes. Sir.
Just decided upon to update.
Good evening. My name is Jose Andrade. I live in Irving. And she's my daughter. She's going to be translating to me.
Okay, great.
My name is Genesis Andrade. I'm going to be translating and presenting on behalf of my dad, Jose Andrade. His address is 2606 Syracuse Drive, Irving, Texas, 75062. We are here to request approval for rezoning of a property in the city of Irving. The land is currently designated as RS 7.5, which allows for a single-family residential use. However, due to the size of the property, we are proposing to rezone and subdivide it into 3 separate lots, each with an RZLA designation. This subdivision would allow the land to be used more efficiently while still maintaining the residential character of the area, and each new lot would comply with the city's zoning standards, including lot size, setbacks, and access requirements. Our goal is simply to formalize the division of the property so it can be developed responsibly and in harmony with the existing neighborhood. We appreciate your time and consideration of this request, and we're happy to answer any questions you may have.
Great, thank you. Any questions for the applicant?
I have a question on the 41-foot rear entry lot. How do y'all propose with the setbacks to put a house on that?
Bueno, tal vez la propuesta es 40 y 55.
We made changes to 40, the first two 40 feet and the other one 55.
Porque 40 es lo mínimo que requieren.
Because the requirement is only 40 feet.
I'm lost.
So the spacing that's listed on the picture is not accurate. It'll be 40 feet on each of the ones on lot 5?
Okay, lo que no estoy seguro quién lo puso, pero lo que requieren son 40 de ancho y 89, 90 de largo, o sea.
We're not sure who submitted this, but the requirement is only 40 feet by 90 feet.
I think what Commissioner Lightfoot's really wanting to ask about is the easement that goes across that one parcel, the one that says Jose Alani on it, that it has an electrical easement.
Sí, esto es una de electricidad, pero hablé con Onco y ellos dicen que lo pueden quitar si me aprueban él.
We already talked to the electrical company and they said they can move it if the request is approved.
Okay, so probably going to move it. Okay,
Yes.
great,
Yes.
thank you very much, yeah. Commissioner Lightfoot, that answer your question? All right, any other questions for the applicant? No? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, is there anybody else who'd like to speak in favor of this item? Anybody in opposition? There not being anyone, I'll return to the commission for any discussion and a motion.
I'd like to make one comment. I can support Lot 5. I think the one towards the Shady Grove is going to be very difficult due to the setbacks. So if we're passing a motion to support all 3 lots, I can't support it.
Okay. I think we would be voting on whether to rezone this entire parcel to be a zero lot line. And then it would be a matter of the owner or the applicant then working with the city in order to divide, see how it could be divided up in accordance with those portions of the code. We would be just saying the kind of lots that would be there, we aren't specifically giving approval for the number of lots.
So
Is
let
that
me
correct?
clarify with staff.
Mr. Chairman, if I can add just a little clarification. This is just a straight zoning case, so there's no site plan involved. What was done here was just an illustration of how one could do up to 3 lots, but if they can't do 3 lots, the RZLA would, they would have to do 2 lots if it wouldn't work. So that ultimately would be determined at the platting stage, what would work or not work based on the zoning, and the amount of
So we're not approving 3 lots.
You're not approving 3 lots. You're approving straight zoning. This was
Okay.
done to help
it was
To
meant to
make
help
it
and it didn't.
to make it easier to try to fit something on it.
Right.
I understand, okay. Then at that point, I can support it.
Okay, great. I can't see who's next, so, Commissioner.
Well, I was going to make the point, I do think that illustration shows that a zero lot line designation is problematic. I think with the busy street, with Shady Grove and the area, to me, it's not a good fit to change it to that zoning use. So for that reason, I couldn't support it.
Commissioner Reyes?
I was planning on making a motion, but then I had a question. Zero lot line, that's townhomes, correct?
No.
No?
No, it's
Oh.
less intense. So this is a compact neighborhood on the comprehensive plan. Zero lot line is the least intensive
Okay.
thing that fits in that category, if I understand correctly. That right?
Other than R6, yes.
Well, in the compact neighborhood.
Right. I do want to clarify, because the applicant mentioned the 40 feet. I do want to mention that it's 40 feet is the lot width if it's a rear setback. If it's a front setback, it's 47 feet. So I want to make sure that that's clear, and that's why those dimensions were shown on the plan, on the drawing that way.
Okay.
Okay, well, if no other commissioner has any comments, I'll go ahead and make a motion to zoning case 2025-140-ZC to City Council for approval.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second recommending approval. Please vote. And the motion passes 7-2. Now, that still goes to the city council, so you still need to go to the city council and get their approval, but it goes with our recommendation of approval. So, All right. On to item number 11, conditional use permit 2025-188-CUP, located at the 2500 block of West LBJ Freeway. Is the applicant present?
Good evening, Andrew Yo, 6X14 Clear Spring Circle, Garland, Texas. I'm the engineer and represent the client here to answer any question. And I was in the work section and I hear some of the concern about maybe the traffic. We only proposed one entrance there. That's the reason, because we don't want to get into the busy traffic on the Home Depot Drive. I think that is the best location. We not create extra entrance, and then we have the 3 driveways stacking. That will be sufficient for the car wash. So it will be prevent any back off to the street. And then that is a shared access drive. We think this is very good for the car wash use. And we also back from last P&G meeting at the building elevation with the 3 dimension, also at the landscape plan with showing the tree, with screening the Home Depot Drive and also the 635, make it look nice, and add a shrub around the driveway to make a screening. So I'm here to answer any question and you have any concern.
Great, thank you. Do any of the commissioners have questions for the applicant?
I guess I do. Because there's a car wash that was just built down the street from this. And then there's a car wash on Beltline on 635. So why put another car wash in that area?
I'm not the business owner, so that's the decision from the developer. They must do the marketing, and they invest over $1 million, maybe $4 or $5 million on the car wash. So I believe they done some research on the marketing, and it must be some car wash business there. It is a demand. Maybe it's a HEB, and then there's a resident there. There's a demand there,
Well, HEB is going to bring a lot of traffic right there in that area, as well as Home Depot still has all their traffic, and then you want to put a car wash there too?
Business is because of the traffic. Because there's a customer there, and there will be a use there for car wash. I believe that what is the why the owner willing to invest the money over there. They see the potential of the business. That's yeah.
Any other questions for the applicant? No? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, anybody else who'd like to speak in favor of this item? Anybody in opposition? No, then I'll return it to the commission for discussion and a motion.
I'll say I can't support this.
Okay.
Way too many car washes already in that area. It's either a warehouse or a car wash.
All right, Commissioner Pritchard?
Unless there's any other comments from the commissioners, I'd like to make a motion for zoning case 2025188 CUP to be forwarded to City Council for approval.
Okay, we have a
I'll
motion.
second.
A motion and a second for recommending approval. Please vote. And the motion passes 8-1. All right. Item number 12, Special Fence Plan 2025-279 SFP, located at 1614 Arcady Lane. Is the applicant present? Yes. Where? Ma'am. Would you like to come down and present? Or are you open to answering questions if we have any? They want it recorded. Do you mind coming down? Thank you, I appreciate it.
Oh, close. Yes, I've been at this.
Your name?
Oh, my name is Vanessa Ramdani. The address is 1614 Arcady Lane.
Okay.
I've been a resident of Irving ever since over 30 some odd years. But I've lived in this house for 33 years. And I don't see a problem where the fence line is. Moving it closer to my porch, I think it would be a disadvantage to my family. And animals. Yes. I just want to replace the fence that's already there. I mean, it's been there ever since I moved for 33 years. It hasn't been a problem for the commercial business, Kids Plasma. Everybody could see coming in and out of Irving Boulevard, so I'm just hoping that you'll approve it.
All right, well, thank you. Do any of the commissioners have any questions for the applicant? No, it looks like we don't actually, sorry.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, okay.
So you're done. Is anybody else who'd like to speak in favor or in opposition to this item? No, then I'll return it to the commission for any discussion and a motion.
If no further discussion, I'd make a motion for Special Fence Plan 2025-279-SFP at 1614 Arcady Lane to be forwarded to City Council with approval.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second recommending approval. Please vote. And the motion passed unanimously. Now, just keep in mind, it does still go to council, and so they're the final decision on it, but it goes with our recommendation that they approve it. Have a good evening. All right, item number 13, zoning case 2025-346-ZC, located at 1710 Beverly Street. Is the applicant present? Sir.
Good evening, Commissioners, and I'm Ivan Velasquez, and I'm representing 1710 Beverly. We would like to expand the house is around 1,000 square feet and make an expansion of 2 bedrooms and a family room. And so the problem was the setback on the circle there in red, 13.8, I believe. And so we would like to see if this can be done. So I'm open to any questions.
Okay. Do the commissioners have questions for the applicant? No, doesn't look like it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, is there anybody else who'd like to speak in favor of this item? Anybody in opposition? No? Then I'll return to the commission for any discussion and a motion.
I would have to agree with the city staff that a hardship exists due to the shape of the lot, the way it sets, and it's a difficult lot to build on, and especially what's there now. So I would be in favor of it.
Commissioner Ahmed?
Yeah, I'll echo that, and I'd like to make a motion if there's no further discussion. I'd like to make a motion for zoning case 2025-346-ZC, recommend to the council for approval.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second recommending approval. Please vote. And the motion passes unanimously. All right. Again, like the other ones, it still goes to council, so you want to go there as well, because they have the final decision on it. All right. Item number 14, zoning case 2025-361-ZC, located at 7650 Esters Boulevard. Is the applicant present?
My name is Rita Lukonen. I'm with Masters Transportation. We are the actual applicant, and the owner of the property, who would be our landlord, is also here. Joan Watson.
Hi, I'm Joan Wynn. I live in Dallas. I've owned this property with my son for 17 years. We officed there for 9 years, and we had a motor coach operation. We sold it, and we leased it to 2 different tenants. And Masters is now wanting to lease it from us February 1st of 26, and we're hoping that we'll be approved. I do want to mention one thing that was mistaken in the work session. They're not buying it, they want to lease. And we're open for questions.
As the company that will be operating on the property, I'm here to answer any questions as to what our operations specifically are, because we're asking for a variance in the use. And obviously, I haven't spent much time on the property, so you have to ask the owner about other specifics. I think one of the questions from the working session was where the service of the vehicles are. We are a rental, lease, and sales company. That used to house motor coaches. What we rent, lease, and sell are a little bit smaller. They're the shuttle buses that you would be accustomed to seeing with our parking operators. We are primarily a business-to-business operation, so there is not a lot of foot traffic or traffic in general that would be on our property. We've been operating in Irving for about 5 years already. At the current facility, we don't have a very big space, and we employ about 5 to 6 people. At this new expanded space, we anticipate employing between 15 and 20 full-time employees, and we pay great wages and full health benefits, so we will be creating jobs in your community. If you have any specific questions about what we'll be doing on the property, happy to answer.
I think you're referring to the question that I had. Just what is meant by service in this context?
It is just cleaning and keeping them running.
Okay.
Nothing serious.
Not like mechanic shop.
Not in the formal way you say it. No, wouldn't take in others and fix things. We might fix things on our own vehicles, but it's not that level of mechanic shop now.
Any other questions for the applicant? Commissioner Ahmed?
Yeah, so what's the size of the fleet?
It depends on what you're referring to. So we rent, lease, and sell. And so we're headquartered in Kansas City, Missouri, and we operate throughout the country. Here in Dallas, right now, at the most, we have parking for about 100 vehicles. They're never all there at the same time because they're being operated. At the new facility, I think there is room for about 120, is that right? 120 vehicles total.
Yeah, so by fleet, I meant your rental vehicles that you're renting out. How many are those in operation and rotating?
Here in this location, I'm going to have to turn and look at the VP of rental that's going to know that number. Is that all right? How many are here? 30 in our rental fleet. But
Okay.
again, it's business to business, and it's not a lot of short-term rentals. They're renting them for periods of time. Masters Transportation is kind of uniquely positioned in that our customers are usually operators, and if something, if one of their leased vehicles or vehicles that they own goes down, we can fill in with our rental vehicle. That's really who our customer is.
So I just want to build on Chairman Skinner's question about service. So when one of your vehicle is out of service, are you repairing it on site? And how are you equipped to repair it? Do you have a lift that you repair? How are you doing like your normal maintenance service, like oil change, brake change, things like that on those vehicles?
I don't believe we have a lift on this site. Like I said, we're headquartered out of Kansas City. If it needed a serious repair, we'd probably take it back to Kansas City. But we would do some minor repairs like oil change, or mostly it's going to be cleaning though. Our rental vehicles don't stay in the fleet very long. The maximum they would be there is probably a couple years. And so we do not have that level of service.
Okay. I don't think I'm getting an answer I'm looking for. Maybe I'm not saying it correctly. So when you're going into this operation, as part of your plan, you are definitely equipping yourself what kind of repair you're going to be able to do for these vehicles. So I'm looking for that. How are you equipped for that? Where is that going to happen on that property? Is there a bay for that? Is that going to be visible?
No, it will not be visible from the road. You see, I don't know if we can pull that up, but on the site plan, the maintenance building is the larger one kind of towards the back. You see where the fire lane is? It's the one behind that, and we call that the maintenance building.
And Commissioner Ahmed, I was asking Jocelyn about this. The zoning for the property would not permit major auto repair as a use. So
That's correct.
yeah, so
We understand that.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be. So yeah, it would be the minor sorts of things. Yeah. So if that's what you were getting at too, yeah, that's what I was trying to ascertain. Yeah. All right. Any other questions for the applicant? No? Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Thanks. And just one added thing, it's so similar to the other use that, we were buses, they're mini buses, so to speak. Their equipment's smaller, and they don't move as much as we did. So, thank you. I hope you'll consider us.
All right, is there anybody else who'd like to speak in favor of this item? Anybody in opposition? Then I'll return it to the commission for any discussion and a motion. Commissioner Ahmed.
Yeah, I think it's a good use for that land, given especially that it's B2B, and it's mainly like rental vehicle that's kind of coming in and out of there. It services the area, services the airport. I think it's a good complementary business to the area.
Commissioner Reyes?
I was going to make a motion if no one else had any comments. Did you? All right. Well, I'll make a motion for zoning case 2025-361-ZC to City Council for approval.
Second.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second recommending approval. Please vote. And the motion passes unanimously. All right. On to zoning case 2025-362-ZC, located at 1101 West Royal Lane. Is the applicant present? Yes. Thought I recognized you.
He's back.
Good evening, Tommy Mann, 500 Winstead Building, representing the applicant. We have a presentation, but this is obviously a project that you have seen and considered. We're excited about to have been approved by the City Council, and this is just for the alcohol sales portion of the Kirby Ice House. So I can pull up that presentation or answer questions, or I can let you have the rest of your evening back.
How about we move to questions? Who has questions for the applicant? Anybody? Anybody who wants him to do his presentation anyway?
Yeah.
I'm not
Cowboys
seeing
are
anybody.
playing. I'm not offended. Yep.
All right. No questions? No. All right. Thank you very much. Is there anybody else who'd like to speak in favor of this item? Anybody in opposition? Nope. Then I'll return to the commission for any discussion and a motion.
Alicia, would you like to make the final?
Oh. Or do we have, does anybody have any comments before we get to the motion, just to double check?
Nope.
No? Okay. Commissioner
All right.
Reyes.
Yes, I'd like to make my final approval to zoning case 2025-362-CC to City Council for approval.
It's just because it's your final
It's
motion.
my final one. Thank you all.
All right, we have a motion. Commissioner Ahmed, did you second? All right, so we have a motion and a second recommending approval. Please vote. And the motion passed unanimously. That's our last item. Commissioner Reyes, thank you for your service on the commission.
Thank you all. It was a pleasure.
Yeah. All right. With that, the meeting is adjourned at 8:25 p.m.